This is the biggest game in Indiana football's modern history, and we are lucky to be alive for it. Folks, today we are going to break down Indiana versus Nebraska. I have not made a breakdown video for Indiana versus a team in about 4 years, but there's no better time than the chance to go 7-0. So stick around till the end to see what I say. It might shock you. So let's talk about, first of all, quarterback battle. You got Raiola over there versus Rourke over for Indiana. Rourke, a top 6 Heisman candidate right now. He's been playing lights out football. He's been playing not just as a game manager lately, but really as a great player. Indiana coming off of a bye week, and the hype is real. Real ESPN, Bleacher Report, other places talking about Indiana football. So much so that Fox Big Noon Kickoff is coming to Bloomington, Indiana. And as you saw in the thumbnail, I said this worries me. This has me very worried, very, very worried. And the reason is because when there's a lot of hype on a team that hasn't really had to show why they're hyped, because let's be real, as great as the wins are, the 6-0, I love it, they haven't truly played anybody yet. Nebraska's a somebody. Nebraska's good on the O-line. Nebraska's good on the D-line. And they have a quarterback that can sling it. But he's a true freshman. And that defense of Indiana is very, very legit. It is a top 3 defense in the Big Ten. I'm pretty sure top 15 in the nation. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about D-line and linebackers. Those guys are incredible. Aiden Fisher. You have Kamara at the D-line position, where he holds top 3 ranks in every single D-lineman stat in the Big Ten. So we're talking about a defense that can really attack the ball carrier and can really attack the quarterback, okay? But the cornerbacks, other than Pons, have been shaky. You saw it in the Northwestern game when they let Northwestern stay in the game. You saw it with the Maryland game where they let Maryland stay in the game until Felton got hurt. There's not going to probably be an injury here, so you're going to expect Nebraska to have all their playmakers available. And that's scary because they got playmakers. They're 5-1. And theirs is not an accidental 5-1. They have beat legit teams. Colorado, who, obviously, I mean, they just had that brutal loss, but it was still a close game. They killed that Colorado team, who now we're starting to see is actually a pretty decent to good football team. And Nebraska just took them to the barn, right? So Indiana hasn't been able to take any great team to the barn because they haven't played a great team yet. This is borderline great team with Nebraska, and it's in Bloomington, and it's Big Noon Kickoff, and you got all the Indiana fans there, and everything's pointing in the direction of, well, Luke, it's obviously Indiana. Their Heisman candidate quarterback halfway through the season. Their fans finally get to see a big college Sunday show come. You know, it's not game day, but I mean, it's still Big Noon Kickoff, still a big deal. Guys, I'm thinking different. You know, it's going to sound weird, but sometimes the overhype is not what you need. Not when you're a team that hasn't really been in this position before. Now, a lot of the guys, they were JMU guys. They were JMU guys or somewhere Ohio guys from the MAC, right? These are schools that were very successful and played in a lot of big games for that type of conference. This is not a Sun Belt or a MAC type of conference. This is the Big Ten. And Nebraska has a chip on their shoulder. I have Nebraska winning this game 31-27. It hurts for me to say this, y'all, but Indiana is going to get hit in the mouth early, and they haven't trailed at all this year. And I hate when teams haven't trailed at all this year. I mean, who haven't trailed at all. It's the reason I didn't believe in Ohio State. If you guys remember me saying, like I said Ohio State would win, but I said, it's going to be close. If Oregon gets a lead, Ohio State probably loses. Why do I say that about some of those top teams? Is because that taste of getting behind, if you don't know what it feels like, you might speed up your clock progression at quarterback. You might be running different routes, fumbling your routes, because now you're worried just because you're down 7. Indiana needs to fight back from the training. I don't know if they will. The biggest game Coach Sig coached so far was last year against App State when his team was already 9-0. 9-0, I'm pretty sure. JMU versus an App State team that had 2 losses. This was a rivalry game. And App State came in, held the lead most of the game. JMU was fighting back and they couldn't finish. Do I think that this Indiana team has the ability to fight back? Yes, but they have to show me. And I've been shown what Nebraska can do. So this is me picking on what I've been shown, not what I think. You guys got to know. As a fan, I have to be honest with you guys. You know I always am, right? Sure, do I miss here and there? For sure. This is one I hope I miss on. But right now I'm seeing a team that's going to be slinging it, going to be really balling out. Probably 17 of those points will be in the first half. And I think Indiana will score 10. It'll be 17-10, right? I think Indiana scores 17 in the second half, but they're going to give up 2 tuds. And even though that's going to be pretty good defensively, it's not going to be enough to win. So is there a way Indiana gets another touchdown in all those minutes? Yes. If that happens, obviously they win. I don't see it happening. Indiana, go prove me wrong. But right now, all this hoopla, this hype, this media attention, it seems really fun, guys. But one loss, and Indiana's a laughingstock again. So I honestly want Indiana to trail. I want them to fight back. I want them to have a comeback and a win. And that'll show me more than anything. If they just lead this game, win all the way, okay, I'm going to be like, wow, it's a great win against a really good Nebraska team. But if I see them fight back from adversity, it gives me a lot of hope going into the Michigan, Washington, and Ohio State games. The big 3 that are going to be very tough. So that's my prediction. Go Hoosiers, and y'all have a good day. I feel like I'm out of here.